You have been cordially invited to a world of wonder and intrigue, of steam and invention, of magic and mysteries, where nobles wave playbills at scientists who, deep in thought, nearly trip over pixies delivering news to tinkerers beneath the stage of New Europa. Sit back and enjoy the scene as the actors act, the singers sing, and the players play out the adventures of Castle Falkenstein.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Adventures in Castle Falkenstein. I am Simon at Wandering DM. Tonight I'll be playing Oberon Winters, the English magician, and I have with me a fantastic cast of players, and all of them amazing. And without further ado, we'll go around the table and introduce the other characters. We are down one player tonight. Deirdre, who plays the Countessa, is not here with us. She'll be back for the finale, which is next week. So without further ado, let's introduce the person playing the actor, Giselle. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing great. Thanks, Simon. My name is Kenny, and I am playing the French actor Jasser Firit Rogojin.
And we have playing Isolina. How are you?
I am doing well. I am PB, and today I'm going to be playing Isolina Atenas Montiel, the other half of the lady detectives, or the only one here today.
And we also have an amazing host for the game, Chris Geary. Hi, welcome again to the show. Do your thing.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to be on your channel for this show. It's been great. This is the penultimate episode for season 1. Welcome to the audience. So, to recap last episode on Adventures in Castle Falkenstein, Isolina, Oberon, and their new friend Carolina made their way through the back to the abandoned manor house, where the unseelie prisoner or poisoner had absconded to, while the Contessa and Jasser made a grand entrance at the front, as only they could pull off. Inside, both groups encountered remnants of the bygone owners and apparitions related to the mystery at hand. In the cellar, the trio found stored goods and belongings, giving the impression that the previous owners up and left all those years ago. While exploring the lower level, they heard the desperate voice of Santi Ramirez begging them to help him. With a little backtracking, they encountered his apparition in ghostly green light as he continued to beseech them for aid. All the while, Carolina and Isolina encouraged Oberon to be less subtle with his interest in the Contessa. On the main floor, Jasser and the Contessa waltzed across the living room after entering through the front door, which opened seemingly of its own accord. They discovered the burnt edges of parchment in the living room fireplace and mostly intact dining room with a fully stocked sideboard. The Contessa has, I think, 7 knives on her now. Over the mantel of the dining room fireplace was the cold visage of a man who they discovered to be called the Iron Master when they pulled the painting from the wall and placed it on the dining room table. They found that it was signed by an artist named Rueck, a name unknown to any of them, yet unique enough to stand out. As the two inspected the portrait, now taken down and placed on the dining room table, Jasser caught the glimpse of their reflection in the front windows that showed the painting still hanging on the wall above the fireplace. Shortly after, the trio below brought up wine, mead, and brandy as they all regrouped in the kitchen. There were drinks, as drinks were being poured, Oberon confessed that he sent the Contessa the red roses that morning. As he awkwardly tried to explain himself, the Contessa kissed him. Was it to stop his rambling? What is with the green light and oddly glowing energy? Are there such things as ghosts? Where is the murderer of Marcos de Salinas? Find out more when we rejoin our cast as they continue their investigations upon New Europa's stage. But before we draw back the curtain and rejoin our curious cast, let us consult the fortune deck as we do each session and find out what answers the deck has in store. I am told that I have questions. What questions do you have for me?
Kenny, do you want to go first?
Sure. Jasser wants to know if the man in the painting is the owner, like the original owner of this manor.
Okay. And King of Hearts. That is a definite yes. The king being a dominant figure. Any other questions?
Oberon has one concerning the previous inhabitants of this place.
Mm-hmm.
Were they murdered?
It is unlikely, highly unlikely that they were murdered, though possible. Any other questions before we dive back into our own mysteries?
I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right, then. So, last we saw our players, they were in the kitchen. Gathered around, Jasser had glasses of wine pouring out for each of the party members, while the Contessa interrupted Oberon to kiss him long and deep. As their kiss parts and their eyes open, Oberon, you see her eyes kind of roll back in her head as she faints.
I didn't do anything. I'll try to grab her before she falls.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. Do you just freeze and let her fall to the ground, or do you try and catch her?
No, I think he would freeze for a split second.
Okay. Your athletics is average. You're close enough.
Yep.
I think that you can steady her.
Okay.
And what do you do now with this lifeless body?
Uh, uh, help. Isolina, Jacer. Oh, Carolina, what do I do? This wasn't. It never happened before.
Well, put her down before she gets hurt.
Go ahead.
Do we have a couch nearby, or
A chair.
A
Where
chair.
are we again?
The
In
kitchen.
the kitchen, right?
Yes.
No, it appears that they used the comfortable furniture for fire.
What?
Let us go to the dining room. We can at least put her on the table.
Yes, let us go. Come on. Come on, Oberon.
Are you going to the main dining room or the servants' dining room that is the other direction off the kitchen? It has a smaller table, but there is a table there as well.
Which is the closest?
To where you all are, because they came up the stairs from the basement, it would actually be closer to the servants' dining room.
Yeah, I think
I think the
Jacer-
servants is
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. So you lay the Contessa on the servants' dining room table. It's a round oaken table. Her feet hang off a little bit, but otherwise she fits on it just fine. You'll notice that Carolina tucks her dress very ladylike and goes to try and fetch something to put under her head. What do the
Well-
rest of you do?
Well, this is unexpected to say the least. I suspect it has something to do with this place we are in, as opposed to you, Oberon. No offense.
Oh, none taken. I swear I did not intend to do anything wrong.
I would not use the word right or wrong in this situation. But it is what it is at this moment.
Yes.
We do have concerns of the green light.
Yes, you will notice that the green light is kind of floating along the ceiling, illuminating the entire main floor now.
How large is the light source?
You actually haven't seen the source of it. It's creeping in like a mist, even though it's not mist. It's just light that seems to be acting like mist.
Oh, well, we may just have to deal with whatever this thing is now. And then hopefully the Contessa will wake up.
Yes, break the spell on this place will surely help.
Well, do you know it's magic?
I mean, would you find a perfectly logical and non-magical explanation as to why light is seeping through the walls like smoke?
I have seen things that have made me question quite a bit, but also a good theatrics can produce such things. But I do not know.
Could also be theatrics made to instill fear in us and maybe try to drive us away from here.
You have used your speciality before to detect whether or not this magic has been in play. Perhaps doing so with the Contessa to understand a bit more about her condition and whether or not we can freely explore.
I can definitely try. I'm still kind of shocked. My apologies. I did not think I had that effect on women.
Do not worry, you do not.
Gee, thanks, Isolina.
You're welcome.
I think Jasser would take a long drink.
All right, Oberon is going to cast Sense Magic.
Okay, I will need you to pull 3 cards all at once.
Oh boy. 1, 2, 3. Do I give them to you in order?
It doesn't matter the order.
Okay. So I have the King of Clubs.
Mm-hmm.
I have the 9 of Spades.
Mm-hmm.
And the 10 of Diamonds.
Ah, so every suit except for the suit that you're using, right?
Yep.
Or is it diamonds for this one?
No, Sense Magic is heart.
Yeah, okay. As you pull on the magic, you'll notice, kind of like you did outside, how there was that green energy that started to form around.
Mm-hmm.
You feel that pulling in again, and this time it's much stronger, and it's pulling to you very quickly as you start to draw upon it, almost like it's attracted to you now that you've tapped into magic. And you cast the spell in, I would say, 1% of the time that it would normally take you. And the whole place lights up, blinding you temporarily.
Ah! Mine eyes.
Monsieur, are you okay?
I can't. Giselle, where are you? I can't see anything.
I'm right here, and Jasser will reach an arm out and touch Oberon on the shoulder.
Oh. I can't see anything.
If you would open your eyes, I think that would help.
No, I think my eyes are open. I'm blinded.
Are there chairs in this dining area?
Yes, there are chairs in the dining area.
Jasser will pull one out behind Oberon and gently kind of push it up against his calves and say, "You can sit down and wait."
Yes. Thank you.
Is this a common thing?
But blindness?
Blinding yourself while you're trying to do magic?
No, this is another first for me.
Instead of thinking like darkness, think that green light, but so bright in your eyes that you can't see anything else. It kind of hurts in that straining sort of way. Like you want to be able to close your eyes and turn it off, but it's like you're looking directly into a light source and you can't look away from it.
It's just all green now. I think the light didn't like me casting spells. Which may be a problem. Well, for me anyway. Huh. I can only see the light.
In your mind, you hear, "Help me."
Santi?
Help me. The voice of Santi is clearly in your mind, and you feel yourself being pulled back down toward the lower level.
We need to go to the basement. We need to go to the cellar again. Santi's in danger.
It is probably just that illusion again. Trying to mess with your mind.
But I can hear him in my mind now.
Yes, because Santi can speak in your mind.
or whatever else is taking control of him.
I mean, can you see now? Or are we going to have to guide you?
You are still blinded by the light.
I'm still blinded by the light.
Guess we will have to guide you. Just do not trip on anything.
All right. Do we want to wait until Carolina comes down, or do we want to?
About this time, Carolina will have returned with some cloth that she has found and kind of rolled up into a makeshift bolster to put underneath the Contessa's head.
Carolina, we are going to go into the cellar. Would you mind staying here?
No, I can do that.
If something happens, just make sure to holler down at us, and we will come post haste.
Understood. If something happens, though, you'll probably hear it before I say anything.
That's fair.
As she, pulls out her pistol and starts changing out her ammunition.
To iron, I'm assuming. What is it? Soft iron? Cold iron?
Cold iron.
Well, yeah. Before I didn't know how well anyone could shoot or what we were up against. Why would I waste good resources?
Makes sense to me.
Must be practical, after all.
Jasser will kind of reach under Oberon's elbow and say, if you would like to stand up, we can go.
All right.
Try to use your cane to identify what is coming in front of you.
Oh, good idea. Thank you.
Especially with the stairs. Don't want you falling.
Especially with the stairs, we wouldn't want you falling. The last thing we would want.
I think my other senses are heightened, and I feel like this was sarcasm or something like that.
I do not know what you are talking about, Senor Oberon. I'm very genuinely concerned for your health.
Okay, is it PB laughing or is it Isolina laughing?
I'm trying my best not to laugh. Isolina's playing it much more cooler than I am.
Well, in
no,
any
we are
case.
so concerned. We are so concerned about your health, Senor Oberon.
Well, in any case, I have no choice but to trust you.
Absolutely. Let us go.
I
and
feel
find
like
this-
you would not drive me into danger, would you?
Never. I would never do anything of the sort. Not without anything to gain, at least.
Oh, good to know. Good to know.
Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. Okay. All right. Down the stairs we go. Lead us with your mind, Oberon.
So as you move forward, you feel the pull taking you not only downstairs, but back the way that you came through and down the corridor in which the apparition had been kind of standing in before you turned and went upstairs at the behest of the Contessa. You'll walk back through that room again with the foot lockers, down the stairs, past the wine cellar, and back into that open room with the foot lockers and other, storage for a different season. It looks like fall and winter are the two seasons that seem to be stored here. And through that room, the hallway banks to the left. And the stone hallway is well crafted, but it's very simple, very plain. Like the only purpose of it is storage, sort of like modern day garages that are just to house cars. Um, not no adornments on the wall, not even any sconces for light. So, for do either of the other two of you have any light sources running?
That would be a no.
Yeah, I don't think I'd have anything.
I had one, but it was magical.
And that one, I believe, timed out already. The
Yep.
one that was on PB's pistol.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it was for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to try and cast another spell so they can see? Or does somebody have an alternative that they would like to pursue?
Let's see. Well, everything in my inventory is all I literally wrote was revolver. So
Yeah, my inventory is very light as well. When we were going through like the cupboard and the different areas, was there like a lantern or anything that Jasser may have noticed?
Are you so upstairs?
Yeah.
There were definitely a couple of like they're not candelabras, but the little candle holders that where you could take a single candle with you to walk through, but not a lantern per se. And you believe that you remember seeing candles in one of the drawers. Actually, the Contessa or in the butler's pantry. Yes, that's where you had seen those stocked as well.
And would I be lucky enough to have found a way to ignite a fire?
No, but you are observant and perceptive. You remember Oberon bragging on more than one occasion that he can light his finger on fire.
All right. So before they do anything, Jasser will I feel like I should get us something to help us. So I'm going back upstairs for a moment. And Jasser will go up and grab those items and come back.
Isolina, are you still here?
yes, I'm still here, Oberon.
Oh, thank God. With all this talk about ghosts and haunted houses, I would not want to find myself alone blinded, mind you, in a room.
That would be very unfortunate, but do not worry. I will not leave you alone without good reason.
Thank you.
But I'm sure your sight will come back sooner rather than later.
I'm hoping it does.
And we'll deal with this magic man or ghost or whatever. And then we will be back in the Contessa's hotel. Have a drink, and then me and Jasser will leave, and then you and the Contessa can do whatever.
Why do you assume that the Contessa and I would do whatever?
Well, she is certainly not going to let you go back to that hovel you rented when you first got here.
No, and it's true that people now seem to think that we are an item.
Well, if, the duck quacks and it waddles, one will assume it is a duck. It's the only thing that came to mind. I had a better idiom in
That's okay.
in plan, I couldn't think of one.
I would say, oh look, Jasser is back, but I can't see shit.
Upstairs, Jasser, as you come up the stairs, you'll see Carolina actually leveling her pistol at you, and then putting it down when she realizes who you are. Back so soon?
We have overlooked some necessities. There is no light downstairs.
Oh. I'm sure there's something around here.
Don't worry, I found some things earlier.
Oh, okay.
And Josser will take that right down the path through the kitchen.
Okay. You make your way into the butler's pantry and find the candle holder on. It was tucked in a corner on the actual countertop itself, and then in one of the drawers there were 3 candlesticks, one of which was partially burned. The other 2 were unlit.
I'll take the one that was partially burned and an extra unlit one just in case.
Okay.
And I'll put the partially burnt one in the holder. I will do a quick just surveil just to see if there's anything to ignite these things with.
Let's see.
I'll even waste a card because I do not have time.
Perception?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. As you look about, you will find. Let me see if there is anything. You will not actually find anything. There. Well, I shouldn't say anything. You find a couple burnt matches, but nothing else in there to ignite.
Yeah, so Jessa will close one of the drawers and kind of curse softly and exit the pantry and like make noise coming down through the kitchen so that Carolina will hear them.
Okay. She'll see you and give you a nod as she's watching. You can tell that she's just kind of watching all of the different. There's a number of doorways. There's a door that goes out toward the rear entrance. There's the door down to the stairs. There's one out into the main hall, and there's one into the kitchen. She's kind of constantly scanning things with her eyes as she seems to be composed and sitting there patiently.
Mademoiselle, I am going back down. Is there anything that you may need from me?
No, just hurry. I don't know how long before this light turns into something else. If it blinded the sorcerer, who knows what it'll do to the rest of us.
The sorcerer was tapping into something, I think. But there is no indication that this light is malicious.
Fair enough.
I would just I would be worried for the Contessa more than anything at this moment.
Yeah, her pulse seems steady. One of the things I learned to check from Father Vladimir.
That is good. All right, if there is nothing else, I will go down.
Okay. Jesse returns.
Can we do like a smash cut from that scene to me telling Oberon, yeah, I think the Green Knight is malicious. I do not see it.
Nice. Perfect. And that's Jester can walk into you explaining the maliciousness of the green light.
It's just not natural. It's not a thing that, you find anywhere else. And then the Contessa fainted, and now I really believe it,
Also, I'm blinded.
Exactly, with the green light. Like a good light wouldn't do that.
But you were doing something, and the light then blinded you.
Just that.
Pardon. So I have the candle and something to hold it with, but nothing to ignite it.
Oh, I can light my finger on fire.
That would be a most marvelous check.
I'm before you do that, I'm just gonna position you so you are near the candle.
I am going to move out of the way of his finger.
So, well, are you like extending the candle close to him, but wanting to stay at arm's length as far away as possible?
I'm thinking orthogonally. Like I am at a 90-degree angle of his finger.
Gotcha.
There is too much power.
Um, how many cards do I need to draw this time?
Just one.
That would be the 7 of spade.
7 of spades. Your finger flares in a ghostly green flame, but it definitely lit.
There you have it. I hope.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
You can feel the magic coursing through you.
Okay.
So the candle is kind of held under with the wick under the flame. Does it catch?
Absolutely, it does. And it lingers green for a little bit as it catches, and then it turns to a normal orangish yellow.
Chasser holds the candle for a moment and kind of moves it carefully over towards Iselina and offers for her to hold it.
Well done. It seems that nothing is stopping us. Let us go. And please do not light your fingers on fire again without prompt. That is a cool trick, but I am afraid of getting burned.
I will let you know if I ever need to light another candle.
Will do. Okay. Well, let us follow your creepy man in your brain and see what is there.
With the extra sense that seems to be guiding Oberon, you make it through the hallway and directly to a door that's locked. It's actually chained from the outside and locked.
Interesting. It is locked.
You were down here, weren't you?
Yeah, we were.
Do you need to be able to see to unlock it?
Do I?
You believe that you could manipulate it still with just touch, as long as you can target it in some way. So if you held it, that would suffice.
All right, I can attempt again. More magic. I'm just afraid another one of my senses is gonna go away.
What is touch anyway?
Well, mostly half of my input from the world now.
If I could help, I would.
Chasser looks around. Is there like a bar or anything to hit the lock with?
Not that you can find in the area. The hallways are literally devoid of anything but stone.
It's all right. I'll do my magic.
Is lockpicking a skill?
It is tinkering,
Oh,
and tinkering is a diamond.
Tinkering's a diamond?
Mm-hmm. It's a mental activity.
Interesting. Well, I could attempt to do this to unlock this lock.
Oh, you could.
I mean, I could definitely try. I have dabbled. I'm not super sure how locks work, but I have seen enough mechanical thingamajigs in my lifetime to maybe jiggle this out.
It would save Oberon's fingers, maybe.
So from my hair, I'm just gonna pull out a couple of picky things,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna try to pick the lock.
Okay. Oh, king. Excellent. So that's 13, and you have average, or is it?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
average.
So that's a 17, and that's just enough. You fiddle around with it, and it takes a little while, and click, you do get a partial success. It opens. However, you do break, or not really break, but bend out of shape one of the pins that you pulled from your hair.
That's a
It will
shame.
either need some craftsmanship to repair, or it will need to be replaced.
Well, we tried. Just
But it is unlocked now.
oh, I think I got it. And I'm gonna like shake it to see if it comes loose. Kind of like when you're doing a combination lock and you're like, aha, I've unlocked it, and then you didn't. I kind of do one of those shaky things just to make sure
Yep.
it'll
Like
open.
you felt it move a little, and then when you go and shake it and pull it, it pulls the rest of the way. And the lock, it is like an old, like chest padlock, and you pop it free, and you can then unwind the chains that are binding the door in place.
Haha. So I undo the chains and I grab the lock, and I'm going to hang the lock where the lock is inside my pocket, but the little hooky thing is hooked outside the pocket. So
Oh,
it
okay.
doesn't lock itself again, but I still have the lock in case I need it. And I'm
Okay.
gonna take the chain and I'm just gonna wrap it around my arm just to hold it, but so it won't jangle as much.
Okay.
Because you never know when you need a lock and chain.
You never know.
It's like, okay, I have unlocked the door.
That was something special.
You never know until you try.
Apparently.
It was a sight to behold, that's for sure.
Thanks, Oberon.
You need to turn around and look. It's
Oh,
the other way.
so, my bad. My bad, sorry. A sight to behold.
Absolutely. Sometimes you just can do it the old-fashioned way. No need for magic sometimes.
So Jasser will kind of move the candle through the doorway and have the light kind of shine down the hallway as much as a candlelight flickers.
Okay. As you like look into the room, yes, you'll notice that it's a storeroom, and there are a bunch of barrels in there, and they're stacked fairly high. Oberon, as the door opens, you start to see like a fuzzy black blob like in front of you. You're not 100% sure what the shape is, but it's different. Like it's not all green anymore. Something's different.
There's, I think there's something ahead of us.
Help me.
Is it your magic man in your head, or is it another shape?
Santi?
The magic man in your head. Okay.
Help me. You all hear that.
my gun is immediately out and in the position to possibly shoot whatever is around.
Mm-hmm. The barrels seem to be stacked like in rows, and on I wouldn't call them shelves, but racks. You don't see anything immediately in front of you. The room does seem deeper than what you see right before you, though, as though there might be a few rows of these racks going back.
Are you still holding the candlestick, just sir?
Yes.
Okay.
We are here. How can we help you?
Help! Help! Sounds exhausted.
Does it sound like it's close by?
Yes. Sounds like it's coming from within the room. It doesn't sound like it did before. Before it kind of had that ethereal quality to the sound that carried in an unnatural way. This sounds like an actual voice.
Does it sound muffled as if coming from inside one of the barrels?
What's your natural perception?
Average.
You'd probably say not, but I don't know.
Could I play a card?
Sure, if you'd like to.
I will help.
Would you like to do a joint check?
We can definitely do a joint check.
I have 0 diamonds, so
I have a diamond.
Okay. So play the diamond that you have. So that's a 4 plus 4 plus, is it good or great for Jasser?
good.
Good. So 6. So 14. No, it does not sound muffled as though it's coming from inside anything, but it does sound like it's deeper in the room. Maybe toward the back and maybe in one of the corners.
Jasser will turn to Isolina. If you want to cover us from the back, we will go in forward. Right, Oberon?
Yeah, I think I can use the dark blob that I see as a point of reference.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Oh, sure. And Jasser will move forward, and Jasser will put their other arm back and Oberon and kind of like try to touch their arm or something. You can come forward. I'll try to keep you away from knocking anything over.
All right,
Okay.
thank you.
The stacks of barrels are like 3 barrels high on their side, so I'd say it's around like 6 foot high. And they are in rows, and they're fairly neat rows. And as you walk through, Oberon, the blob starts to like move as you feel that you're being guided like perpendicular at one point, and then parallel to the blob. And it's as you are making your way slowly through the rows toward the back of the room. And with each step, the blob starts to sharpen into an image. Which then becomes a silhouette. And once you actually come upon this, you'll see Santi bound and chained in the corner. He looks gaunt, drained of life. His eyes are a bit sunken, his skin pale. He does not look like the young, vibrant young man that you had met. He's much very sickly in appearance.
Jasser will put the candle down. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. I was just going to say, and he turns to you, or turns his face towards you and says, "Please, help."
We are here. Just give us a moment. And Jasser will put the candle down and go forward and start examining like Santi's condition? Like, are the chains able to be moved or something like that?
As you get closer, you notice that they are iron shackles. They are not just like locked; they have been like pinned. So you would need tools to unbend the metal and release them, or to break the pins to release them. He does not look well enough to walk.
Do I see this, or do I only still see like a silhouette?
Do you move close as Jasser moves closer?
If Jacer is pulling on my arm to make me go forward, yes, I would.
Okay. However close you get more definition with each step. Not of the room, but of Santi. So it doesn't actually, it's monochrome, but you start to see the chains. You start to see the folds in the clothes, the rumpled mess that is his attire, the matted hair, and it sharpens the closer you get to him.
Santi, what happened to you?
The thing, it grabbed me.
We need to get you out of here.
Please.
Chasser's gonna look around for tools like in the area. Probably not any laying around, but
Well, let's see what may have been discarded and left aside. No, it does not look like they've left any tools in this room. The only tool that you can find is the wooden mallet that's used for corking the barrels. But beyond that, there's nothing really of use when it comes to dealing with metal chains.
But the chains have to have a clasp of some such, a way to open and shut, right?
That is true. They are hinged, but where there might be a lock or a key or something of that nature, it's just a metal pin that's been like riveted in place. So that pin would need to be either unbent, or mangled in some way, so it could be pulled, or it would need to be broken. So think of like a rounded bolt head on one side, and then the other side, it's like smashed metal that covers the entire hole so it can't move. So one of those sides would need to be either sheared off, or the smashed metal would need to be like bent again until it could slide back out.
What have you guys found over there?
Santi is here. He is not looking good. We definitely need help, though. We cannot get these manacles off.
And he's chained to the. Is he chained there, or is he? Is he chained there, or is he just chained up?
No, he's chained there, I believe.
No, he's just shackled. He's not actually
shackled.
chained to the floor or to the wall or anything.
Oh.
He's just shackled so he can't like easily move.
He's restrained, but he cannot move on his own.
He is in bad shape.
Do you believe we could help him back up
Yeah,
to where we have the Contessa?
we could try, but we would have to deal with these restraints.
I might be able to.
Are Santi's eyes open?
Yes, they're open.
I am going to use mesmerism
Mm-hmm.
to calm him and help him feel at ease.
Okay. Would you like to play a card with that, or just use your
Yeah.
base skill?
I will play a card with that.
Excellent. As you start to speak softly and kind of get him to focus on you and not the condition that he's in, is what I'm assuming you're doing.
Yes.
Your words resonate. They have a tendency to, like you can see it immediately in his body posture, in his facial expressions. Even though he's sickly and in pain, he's obviously much better off now than he had been before you had chosen to do this. And he actually falls asleep. He's so relaxed.
I think we have a little bit more time. I fear that if he wakes, there will not be enough energy for him to move.
I mean, if he is shackled up, I do not believe he can move on his own anyways.
Well, we have a blind magician and an actor with a candle and you with a gun. Are we going to sacrifice something to carry him?
I mean, I could always put down the... I'm not always having the gun in my hand. I could, if anything else, I think with a little bit of help, we could just drag him up. Or we could call Carolina. She's perfectly capable. I'm sure if she really wanted to, she could just throw any of us over her shoulder and carry us if she became frustrated enough.
I hesitate to leave any one of us alone. Let us try to bring him up.
Well, I can certainly help carry him if I have someone else to guide me.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
worth a shot.
So if I'm thinking if one of us carries him by the shoulders and the other by the feet, I could be the one holding the feet or the shoulders so long as I'm not the person in front.
I'm kind of imagining like this tractor trailer where the back is just kind of swinging a bit.
Yeah, that's what I was getting the image of. And then that would leave one person with the cane and the candle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm average in all physical things. I'm assuming you are also, Jose?
Yup.
So am I.
Well, that's great. We can, I can help guide you.
What cards are necessary?
Clubs.
Oh,
You can do a combined check because it would be a team lift. So you would get a base 8 plus the lowest club amongst the two of you, whichever two.
I have
Which one
no
is
clubs.
The club is the
So
upside down
It
heart.
would
It's
be the
the-
lowest club of either
The clover.
Isolina or
Oh, the clover.
Jasser, since Oberon has no clubs.
Jasser has a club.
I also have a club. I mean, either way, it's going to be one of us helping him.
Yeah,
Is it a good club?
it's not bad.
Go for it.
All
I'm
right.
average all the way around.
Okay.
So
That'll be
yeah.
a 17 total. That'll be enough for you guys to navigate your way without, knocking Oberon or Santi into anything as you turn corners. And as long as you're not rushing your pace and you're going at a steady pace.
I think that, Chasseur, if they're taking the shoulders, would also just trying to maintain the state that Santi's in by like either humming a gentle song or something.
Okay.
Well, I will lead the way. Light the way, I guess I should say.
Mm-hmm. You are the light unto this world.
I will have the cane in my other hand. In my dominant hand. So if I need to drop something to grab the gun, I can easily do so.
Okay.
All right, up we go.
You make your way through the stone hallways and back upstairs without any additional incident. You'll notice Carolina at the table, very calmly leveling her gun at you as you come up the stairs, only to put it down when she recognizes you. And there's no change in the Contessa's condition. She's simply laying on the table, arms folded, the whole Snow White position.
As we come up, as she is like pointing, like zero fucks that she's pointing the gun. She might as well just like be waving at me, saying hello for how I reply. I am like, well, we have found the young Santi. Have you ever seen a condition such as this? I say, as you guys push past me with poor little Santi.
Yeah.
Her eyes grow a little wide and goes, only once. Something we never found out what was draining the life of villagers, literally sucking it right from their being. We believe it was Fae, but we never caught the creature.
It also appears it was a door that we walked past, right? All three of us.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It appears that that door that we passed earlier was locked with a lock and chain. Sometime after us.
Oh no, that would have been around the corner.
Oh, okay.
You would not have seen it the first time through. If you had gone down that other hallway where you saw the ghostly apparition, rather than heading upstairs when the Contessa called, you would have seen the door earlier. But you didn't get.
Oh, we didn't go down the hallway. Oh, okay. Yeah. I get it now.
Because you were just at where Santi was, and you or the apparition of Santi was, and you waved your gun through the ghostly projection, and that's when the Contessa called down.
Oh, okay. I thought we had walked down there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, apparently the hallway where we saw the apparition, if you would like to call it that, the illusion, then we would have found this poor guy.
Oh. I guess something good came of blindness.
Has the light changed any?
It's flared once or twice, but it doesn't seem to have permeated the room anymore, not at least to my senses.
So a life-sucking fae. Interesting.
Could I possibly have heard of such a thing with my more than average education?
Your education is what again?
Great.
And so is your sorcery?
Yeah.
There are a lot of myths about creatures that steal life force. So yes, this is not something unheard of for Oberon. Do you have any diamonds you'd like to add to this?
Yes. Yes, I do. I would like to add this diamond.
Oh, a joker. So, we're going to count that as a exceptional success. And I'm going to mark it as both for your education and for your sorcery. You remember reading what a lot of people had kind of tossed aside as fairy tales. There was a tome mixed in with them called the let me get the pronunciation again. The Auberon tales. The reason that it caught your attention is because it's very similar in its pronunciation to Oberon, except instead of the O, it's an AU. And when you flipped through it, you were reading up more on different fae, and you found that some of the Unseelie, specifically the ones that can shapeshift, they can do so either through magic, but it's limited. However, if they tie themselves to a living creature, like bond themselves with that creature's life force, they can change at will into that shape without any aid of additional magics. It just takes that original bonding ritual. That is what you believe has happened here. That Santi was abducted by this fae, and they have been using Santi's shape without the need for additional magics, additional glamours. For how long? You would guess at least a day, more than a day, but possibly even longer.
I'll relay that information to the others and add, it might just be the Descenti that we saw at the Disselinus' mention. That might have been a doppelganger all along.
Well, there is only one way to find out. Well, technically 2 ways. Go ask the thing that's taking its life force. Or kill that thing and then ask Santi about it later. In any of your reading, did it say how, if there was a way to get the life force back?
Was there?
Nothing that you would consider scientifically sound.
Okay.
You did read enough of reports that would talk about, like, give it enough time and it slowly returns, but nothing to expedite that process. Depending on how long it's been, it could take easily months, if not years, to be back at full strength again.
Oof. Yeah, regardless. Regardless of what happens now, either Senti dies, or will take months to recover.
Well,
you do know you have to sever the bond for him to recover.
Oh. So, if we kill that thing, whatever it is, this unseelie fae, Santi has a chance to make it out alive.
Oh, then it sounds like we have a fae to hunt down.
It is probably not. Let's put it all together. You were blinded by a green light. You saw Santi. There is a green light hovering above us. Perhaps if we go upstairs, we can find our fae.
I think so too. I just wish I had my eyes.
You start to see the Contessa now.
Oh.
Still monochrome.
Just the Contessa?
Well, you still see Santi. But now as you blink and start to look, then another black blob appears, and you blink another time, and it starts to become a little clearer, but it's still monochrome. And eventually you have the same level of detail on the Contessa as you do on Santi.
Well, now I can see two people. I can see Santi and I can see the Contessa.
Oh, that's not necessarily a good thing.
I think I can only see those that are being affected by the thing.
Is progress parce que you couldn't see the Contessa earlier?
Well, at least we'll know where the Contessa is, at least. But we have to go deal with this fae before the Contessa's life force starts being sucked out of her.
Indeed.
That would be unfortunate.
Who said that?
Carolina.
Oh. Yes.
What? Do you know anything of this creature, Carolina?
None of this one in particular that Oberon speaks of. However, it does sound similar to what we ran into before, but and actually it explains some things. I don't know why it was in that village, though. That is strange to me, or one like it.
Maybe it was traveling. Keep going French with this accent. Maybe it was traveling.
That's possibly true. Yes. I think. Well, what I do know is that Fae don't like cold iron, and just about anything will expire if you shoot it enough times.
You know, I was going to say the exact same thing. I didn't think you were going to go that route, though. I was about to be like, if you shoot it enough. What?
Jasser will kind of look around the servant dining room area and moving through one of the other doors, looking for a stairway up that isn't the main staircase.
So, like a servant's staircase?
Yeah.
And there is. So there are two ways up that is not the main staircase in the hall. You'll see as you peek around the corner that leads back towards the hall, an elevator to your right as you're facing the front of the building, and stairs, the servant stairs to the left that lead up.
Jasser kind of scoffs at the elevator.
It's not something that I would trust at this moment.
And Jasser will cant their head back.
I believe if we are going to go, we need to go soon. The stairs are over here. We should not take the front ones.
Makes sense.
Yes, I would agree. Though it's not like this thing does not know where we are or that we are here.
Call it a preference.
Then let us go.
Okay.
I will follow.
Yeah, how much vision has Oberon retained or gained back?
Just the two figures.
Like,
It's okay, I can manage. I mean, I still need someone to guide me, but
I was gonna say, imagine just like you like putting your arms on the walls.
yeah.
Isolina, do you want to hold the candle or do you want to have your gun out?
I would prefer to have my gun out. It might not do as much damage as Carolina's, but it will still make me feel better.
She kind of cants her head and looks at what you are wielding, and she digs around in one of her pouches and hands you 3 shells.
Oh,
Don't miss. If you can help it.
I will try.
Is there enough light with the green light for us to all see kind of semi-normally?
Absolutely. On the main floor, it was just like shadows were a little bit longer, but as you look up the stairs, it's like it's daylight.
Oh yeah, so okay. At this point, Chasseur puts the candle down, and I think Chasseur goes and grabs like the fire poker that they had earlier.
Okay.
Oh, right, the cane. Here you go, Overon.
Oh, thank you.
Not there. Just I'm gonna grab your hand and I'm just gonna. There you go.
If you want to go for her, Isolina, with your gun, I can back you up and lead Oberon at the same time.
Sure.
Would you like me to go with this time, or do you want me to stay with the invalids?
I would much prefer you be with us. I'm sure they will be fine. And if they're not gonna be fine, we're not gonna be fine. So I think either way, I'd rather have your gun with us.
Makes sense to me.
It's very pragmatic, but let us go.
As you start to ascend the stairs, as I had mentioned before, you look up the stairs and the light becomes more encompassing. I don't want to say brighter because it doesn't really change in its brightness, but it's just there's just more of it. And everything is lit almost as though it's daylight streaming in through the windows or overhead lamps being lit. Yet everything has this greenish hue to it. This tinge of green that kind of, you can even see trails of it along the wall, dancing on the wallpaper, the banister. It's playful energy in some ways, and in other times it looks foreboding and sickly. And as you get to the landing, and look up, you'll see the door to this back stairwell is closed. So, from what you can see, there is no, I guess, concern for adversaries at this point. Making it to the top of the stairs is no trouble. On the left, you'll find there is a door. It's narrower than the other doors, so you assume it's a closet of sorts. And then the large door in front of you, which is the standard size for the rest of the passages that you've walked through with doors, sits closed. What do you do?
Right. I forgot you gave us the layout of this place.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just mentally trying to map this all out. I was like, man, I should really be writing this down.
And then, no, you have it for you right there.
Then all of a sudden, a memory happened. Okay. Well, we might as well try to just make sure that they are. Although I do not think they would be hiding. They do not seem the type. But I'd still feel better checking the most of the doors as we go, even the closets.
Okay.
So I come up to the first door that I think was on my left, right? The closet door.
Yep, the broom closet as it's marked on the map.
I will open that and just check that there is no one there.
You open the closet, and actually a broom falls out on you.
A broom falls out on me. You'll see me like swat it out of the way. Like I straight up slap that broom as it falls on me.
But no, there's no one in the closet. It doesn't look like it's been disturbed in quite some time. There's a thick layer of dust on the shelves. And outside of the movement of the broom that kind of clanged against your shoulder and got swatted to the floor, there is nothing there.
All right. Well, closet is clear.
Oberon, a large black blob enters your vision.
Wait, I see something.
Where?
Well, I'll turn around where I stand to have that blob centered ahead of me.
Okay.
Which direction am I looking at?
So Oberon, I'm going to describe this from third person, since Oberon doesn't really have complete bearings. Oberon knows that the stairs are to the back of him for the most part, and Oberon would know that he's slightly angled to his right. The others would recognize that he's pointing. If the back of the house is north, which is what we were going with, he's pointing north by northwest from where he's currently standing. So if you're using him as a compass, he's pointing north by northwest.
So he's kind of facing the door, but angled.
Yeah, facing toward the door, but angled a little bit toward the back of the house.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, out of character, I think I'm looking at the chamber that's, the northern chamber that's in the center.
You'd be looking right along the line for that chamber that says 15 by 19.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just I would say, how big is the vision?
It's judging by the same blob that I saw when I saw Santi the first time. Is it bigger? Is it smaller?
It's about, I would say, 3 times the size of what you saw when Santi first came to view.
Oh, God, it's huge. It's taking almost all of the room. It's bigger, much bigger than Santi was. I think this is the source we're looking for.
Well, on the bright side, it sounds like it's going to be hard for me to miss.
Let us proceed, but quietly, maybe.
The better part of valor.
And how would you like to, marching order, so to speak, would you like to take? And what direction would you like to turn when you come out of the door? The door opens away from you and into the next room. It's an open area. There is a small side table with chair, an old oil lamp sitting on it across the hall. There's painting on the wall, a landscape. To the right, there's a closed door and the lift. And then to the left, is an open archway with a beam over the top of it.
I think Jasser would have opened the door and stepped into the room.
Okay. So that's what
And-
Jasser would have seen immediately.
And if Oberon was near, kind of pulled him into the room.
Okay.
It's still in the same direction.
Same direction. If you were to walk straight forward, Oberon would be walking like into the wall that's just left of the elevator.
Yeah, as we go into the room, and Oberon's facing that direction.
We will have to find a way around that is impasse.
All right. Well, I can keep looking at the direction where this blob is from. But I don't know which way to go.
The edges of it start to sharpen.
Ooh. Also, we're getting closer.
So we just came from. Oh my god. What I'm learning is I'm really bad at looking at floor plans, at maps in general.
Well,
Um,
do you see the like spiral staircase right in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
So there's like a rectangle room that's completely empty to the right of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're in that rectangle.
And where did we come from? Is it the next rectangle over?
Yeah, the
Where
next
it
one
looks
over
like
where
stairs.
you have stairs.
Where it says rear hall and it has
Oh.
stairs.
Okay. I'm just orienting myself differently, I guess. Okay.
So you'd be directly west of the rear hall
Okay. All right. Okay.
on the second floor.
We're going to make this work. You know what's very convenient in this day and age? The little arrow on Google Maps that tells you which direction you're facing.
Yes.
So there's that. Well, there are two ways we can go. And maybe there might be two ways to go to this room or whatever it is. Well, if it's, I mean, it's large. It's tall also, correct, Oberon?
It's very large, yeah.
Then it will not be in a small room. It would be in a large place. So, I guess I was gonna say we could split up, but let's not do that.
Let's not do that at all.
Let's not do that. We could go to the right and see what that room is before we go through the open archway.
Okay. I trust
By
you.
the way, there's an open archway, Oberon, so just be careful of that.
Okay. I will try my best.
So you're going through the open archway?
No, I think we were going to look at the chamber 18 by 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who do you want opening that door?
I could open that door.
Okay. You open the door and it opens into the chamber. And you'll see a large bed in the northeast section of it. There's a dresser to its left, a nightstand between the dresser and the bed. There is a bookcase immediately to your right along the wall with a seat that's built into it.
Is this room also covered in that thick layer of dust that we've seen in the rest of the house? bar a few places.
The dust seems to be relatively undisturbed here, yes. No footprints, no tracks of movement or anything.
Do I see the blob crisper? Like, is it more sharpened or sharper?
Has everyone entered the chamber, or is Isolina still in the doorway kind of scanning the room?
I thought she opened the door and entered.
That's I will add that detail as soon as I know
Okay.
where everyone is.
After the first glance through, just to make sure there's no big evil thing here, I will make my way into the room.
Okay. There is no big evil thing in this chamber, and you make your way into the room, and I'm assuming the rest of the party follows.
Yeah, Jase would have followed. Just sort of,
Okay. Unless you designate differently, I'm going to assume Carolina is watching everyone's back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oberon, you'll see as you're led into this room, the blob stays to your left, and it does sharpen a bit more. It seems to form a fairly crisp arch, and you see the faintest hint of almost stonework along the edge of this arch. You're not sure if that's real or if that's some sort of illusory effect or what's really going on at this point. But ever since you've been on the second floor, the light, though still bright and blinding, no longer strains your eyes. Jacer, you and Isolina will also notice there are two doors on the left-hand side of the room. One immediately, well, not immediately, shortly after you step inside. Spatially speaking, you think it's immediately behind or leads immediately behind the elevator. And then one further down, almost near the end or the external wall of the room.
And so this is a hoity-toity house, right?
Yes. Wallpaper, lush carpets, though old and unkempt because of just years of sitting dormant. But yeah, everything in here, you look at it, and in its prime, it would have been luxurious, extravagant.
So I can assume that most of these rooms are going to have their own bathroom. Because that's what rich people do.
Yes.
And that one of them is probably a closet. Because rich people have too much shit.
Yes.
Okay. Even though this is a fairly small bedroom, that feels really weird to say about how large this room is. But this is like a guest bedroom, right? Because of its size, almost. Or like,
yeah, you would say it could be a guest bedroom, or maybe for either a relative, like a spinster sister, or a bachelor brother who are still waiting to step out on their own.
okay. This is mostly for me to see how confident I am when I open some of these doors. When I probably shouldn't be. Okay, so when I see that everyone has entered the room, I'm gonna open that first door right behind the lift. See what's in there.
As you open the door right behind the lift, you'll see a walk-in closet, shelves on the right, built-in drawers on the back of the closet, and rods for hanging clothes. There are still some hanging clothes in here, not many, and there are shoes, as well as a handful of hat boxes on the shelves.
I'm gonna look at one of the more delicate pieces that's hanging,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to see if there's any moth damage on it?
Yes.
Okay. Just to make sure that this thing just hasn't been chilling here and everything around it's just like, no, fuck this house.
No.
Okay.
And what do you do next?
Aside from looking at that room,
Mm-hmm.
if no one else is doing anything here, I'll go to the next door and I'll check it
Okay.
also.
So that's a great segue. Is there anything in particular that Oberon or Jasser wants to do while Isolina inspects the closet?
I think Jasser would be looking out their entry, even though Carolina is kind of watching their back,
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of keeping an eye on all of the doorways,
Okay.
with their back towards the corner of the room.
Okay.
And Oberon would take a few steps forwards, hands outstretched to make sure that I don't bump into anything. But I want to see if going in the direction of the blob, that like stonework apparition looks clearer.
Okay. As you go forward towards it, it's the stonework stays ephemeral. It doesn't have the definition that you were getting from some of the other things. In fact, the middle of it all kind of is a swirly, inky light, absence of light, that's going gray instead of black.
I don't know what this is, but it's definitely there.
Okay.
We
So
should.
then,
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, what else?
I was just gonna say we should be careful as we move closer.
All right.
Well, if we're lucky, this is just a bathroom, I say as I throw the door open.
And sure enough, it is. You have a clawfoot tub on your left, a sink on the right, indoor plumbing, actually. And everything is porcelain and at least gold plated in here still. Dusty, untouched, no sign of water being drawn from this room, though. The door at the other end is cracked slightly open, but not enough to see anything other than some flickering to the green light that permeates this floor.
As I open the door and I see all of that, but mostly I see the green light creeping in, you'll see, if you're looking at Isolina behind her, you'll see her head move like that as she says, and I will slowly back out and like slowly just close the door a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll turn around and in a quiet voice I will say, it looks like the green light is on the other side, in the other bedroom, on the other side of this bathroom.
How creaky are those hinges?
I'm hoping not a lot.
Not creaky enough that I would worry about it at this point.
It's like they were creaky. I amend the statement. I do not close the door again. Well, it looks like the light is stronger over there, whether or not the creature is in it. We could check the other way to see if there is a better way in.
Oberon, another blob pops into view.
Oh.
It's coming, or you see it moving, and it is. So you're in the chamber. The chamber that you're in, it would be to the southwest of where you are. You barely catch it in your periphery as you're looking at the archway.
There's another. I'll whisper to everyone. There's another. There's another presence.
I do not know that any other way would be better.
Is it as large as the other one?
Is it as large or is it smaller?
It's small, slight of build, maybe 5 feet in height. And it's definitely a silhouette now.
It looks like a person.
And it's moving away from you all.
Is it moving down to the first floor?
No, it looks like it came up from the first floor based on its movements. And it's moving toward the chamber, but from the other side.
Okay. It's going towards the bigger blotch. I think, if anything, we have to go in now.
Well, then let us go.
Take it by surprise.
Oui, let's go.
Okay. As you make your way through the bathroom and into the chamber, you will see before you a room that's been cleared of all of its furniture. And in the, what would that be, northwest corner, there's this large archway teeming with magic. And you can kind of see through it into another plane. Oberon, at this point, it's the takes up the bulk of your focus, and you can tell that this is piercing the veil into the fairy realm. Whatever the creature is, it opened a portal, and the green light is actually streaming in from this archway into the building. You can see the movements of the green light now, as it's no longer like flooding your eyes. It's kind of more identifiable as a separate entity from the rest of your view. You'll see the fireplace that's on the south side of the room that's built in, the bookcases next to it, the door that's closed across the hall from you. It has not yet been opened, but Oberon does see the other silhouette moving towards it. What do the other two of you do at this point?
When I noticed that the very large blob that Oberon saw was this large door portal thing, my immediate thought is that this thing is coming in and out of this portal, and that it's going to go just chill and go home, I'm assuming. So I would like to catch an angle where I could shoot it before it can see me, if it comes in through that door.
Okay, so if you want cover, you could take cover near the closet that's next to, so immediately to your left next to the fireplace, and use the fireplace mantle as cover, and it would give you a direct line of sight onto the doorway.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'll find an angle there and leverage my arm aim to make sure that I think about how small this thing is according to Oberon, so I don't shoot high. And I'll just train my aim there as soon as the door opens. Does it look like it's in or outdoor, the way it opens?
Based on the hinges, you believe it opens inward.
Oh, it's going to be inconvenient, but I'll live with it. Okay.
Before Isolina moves away, Jasser says,
I will try to create a distraction and get their attention so you can do what it takes.
Okay, be careful.
Jasser will make their way around the portal. It takes a lot for them not to be fascinated by it,
Mhm.
but they'll make their way around in view of the other doorway in,
Okay.
and they will throw themselves to the floor and act like they are in pain using
Okay.
performance.
Excellent. Are you going to enhance that with a card, or is
Indeed.
yeah. Okay, I see. Yes. Okay. And I'm assuming are you going to start that immediately, or are you going to wait for the door to move to start your performance?
I think they would wait until they saw the door moving, but they would get into position to set a scene.
Okay. Excellent. So performance is great, correct?
Correct.
That's a 20. Excellent. I will make note of that. Oh, there you are. All right. Oberon, now that you have what you've seen, what would you like to do? You're kind of standing in the middle with Carolina, who has not left you on your own.
I'll just turn to Carolina and whisper, "What's going on?"
It seems we're getting ready to set an ambush.
I'm afraid
And you hear the hammer on her pistol cock.
All right, I'll just grab my cane with both hands.
Okay. The silhouette approaches the door and it starts to get more shape. And right then, you hear from the first floor a scream from the Contessa as she bellows out, "Bastiano, no!" And we will take our break.
What the hell?
So please stick with us, everybody, for about 8 minutes as we take a break. It's a little late for us on our midway break, and then we will be right back.
All right. See you in a bit, everyone. Because we're back, everyone. Hey.
Glad
So-
you stuck around. We are ready to jump back in it. When we took our commercial break, we ended with the Contessa screaming from the floor below, "Bastiano, no!" as the door began to open into the chamber. Oberon, the figure starts to take shape for you. It starts to get, like the others did. But as the Contessa's exclamation finishes, the blindness from the light starts to fall from your eyes, and your normal vision returns. Jasser, the door is opening. Describe for me your scene that you're setting.
Jasser is going to be prone on the floor and looking like they had injured themselves. Either their leg is broken or they'll be semi-hysterical.
Okay. So kind of writhing on the floor.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh, the pain, the humanity.
Excellent. Isolina, you are taking aim, yes?
Mm-hmm.
How long are you waiting for?
As soon as the thing is wholly visible to me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that it is not like the Contessa or Santi or somebody else that has popped into the room.
Mm-hmm.
I will take the shot.
Okay.
Like, just making sure it's the baddie and not anybody else. Though I guess there's not really any, gun safety. You have to make sure you're shooting the right person.
Yeah.
I only have 3 shots. And I'm sure at least 2 of them will miss, so.
Fair enough. Oberon, your vision returns.
And I'm still holding my cane with both hands.
Uh-huh.
Except this time I'm a bit more determined, now that I can see.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to keep a wary eye on the door. But nothing more. I don't want to step in the line of fire.
Okay. You'll see entering into the room, a figure, slender, thin build, or delicate build, pointy ears, ashen gray skin, crooked mouth, and it looks you all over as shots fire, starting with Isolina. Are you playing a card?
Is it a clover card? Or is it the upside down heart card?
It would be the clover.
The clover. Okay, yeah. I have one of those.
Excellent. And that's average.
Yes.
I will give you a bonus for taking aim.
Sweet.
And
I don't know which one the spade is, godless.
and you seem to hit the creature. It does try and pull the door back to give it some cover,
Mm-hmm.
but you do strike the creature,
Get fucked.
hisses at you as it does try and pull the door closed and escape. At the same time you do that, Oberon near you, but not so you're in the line of fire. You hear multiple shots ring out from Carolina.
And now I'm deaf.
Would it be possible for Jacer to try to trip the person as they are running for the door? Or would they have that angle?
You had time to set up. Is that something that Jacer would have tried to set themselves up to do, to be able to block their exit?
Well, you're kind of just trying to be obnoxious as possible, right?
Pretty much. So not necessarily tactically moved, positioned, but as the events kind of unfold, they also want to be able to be helpful. So.
And deuces go wild. Thank you, Godless Lawyer. Everybody's got a plus
faster
2.
than me, Chris.
Then, sure, I can give that to you. Do you have a card that you want to play? It'd be athletics to try and trip them, so that would also be clubs.
Ace is not low, right?
Ace is not low. Ace is high.
Then let's do that. I'm average, but here's an ace.
So that's a 14 plus average. So that's an 18. Okay. In this case, I'm going to have to try and dodge. And so, all right. I'm going to try and avoid it with the king. To try and get out of the way. But you do slow their movement enough that they do not get to close the door before Carolina's shots go off. So it is not in vain. And it looks like one of them struck. So they've been hit twice so far. But the door does close immediately, and you hear the creature running for the stairs. What do you do now?
To all of us?
Whoever wants to go next. Well, Oberon is the only one that hasn't acted yet.
Yeah.
So probably we'll start with Oberon and then go around the rest of you.
It's running. Yeah, we only know that it's running away, though.
Yeah, you know that it's running away. You can make assumptions about where to.
Would I have time to... you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna run after it, open the door, and if I see it as I open the door, I want to cast a confusion spell on them to stagger them and prevent them from reacting.
Okay.
Mainly to make them trip.
Do you have... what's your athletics at? Just to see... Trying to think timing.
Yeah, oddly enough, my athletics are average.
Okay. Would you like to play a card to be able to make it there in time?
Which... It's not spade, is it? No, it's
No,
club.
it'd be clubs.
I'm just gonna get rid of a card.
Okay. You burn a card and make your way over, and you just catch sight of their feet as they turn the corner, headed to what you believe is the main staircase, or that direction. in the direction of the main staircase.
I'll turn to everyone and say, "Get downstairs!" And, do I need line of sight to cast a spell on something in Castle Falkenstein?
We're going to say it depends on the spell. Basically, the spell effect you're going for. And then I believe there are modifiers.
Okay.
So when we look at that list of the modifiers of spells in the Comme il faut,
Let me open it.
so spell definitions is what they call them on page 87.
Yep. No, those are spell cost. 87. Yeah, I have it. Spell definitions.
Range, elements, task, duration. I would say this comes down to basically the knowledge, familiarity with the subject. We'll call that the same as like whether or not it's in line of sight or not line of sight. So this wouldn't be I would say this would be because you kind of know where they are. I would say that it would add 2. So the barely know the subject level that you would add to whatever the spell is. And then if it doesn't already have a built-in range, make sure you add oh no, there it is, in spell range. So if it's within sight, it's only a 2. If once you go outside of unaided sight, it becomes a 3. So we're gonna go with that number. So add the 3.
3. Okay. So I would need. Here's what I'm trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
I have a spell called Elemental Control, which allows me to manipulate a single aspect of a single element.
Okay.
Be it temperature, magnetism, shape, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What I would like to do is to rot the staircase.
Okay.
So that when they run down the stairs break under the weight and send the creature, thing, person tumbling down.
Okay. All right. So let's see here. So
Normally
your
it's an 8
target
of
then
clubs.
is the stairs. And what's the normal?
Normal is 8 of club.
8. So we've already got the +3. I'm thinking I'm just looking for it to rot it. But we are going to call this a form of damage.
Okay.
Let's do enough damage to make it so it falls. We're going to make your target needs to be a harm rank of C. So it's going to be a total of 16, 19 that you'll need. So your sorcery plus whatever, you need to reach a 19 to get a partial success. And then what would that be, a 27 to get a full success.
All right. Hopefully I can do it before they get downstairs.
Very possibly, yes.
My first card is the 6 of spade.
Okay, you're going to pull 2 more for me.
Sure. The 8 of hearts.
So that's the 3 that are going off all at once.
Okay. And the 5 of hearts.
And what's the standard for this spell?
8 of clubs. So I don't have any of the suits that I need.
So spade. Oh, so none of the suits that you need. So
because I got spade, heart, heart.
Gotcha. Spade, heart, heart. Club and hearts. Club and spade.
I'm going to explode. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. It was nice knowing you.
And how many points does that add up to, though?
That adds up to 19 without my
19.
stat. So with my stat, it's a 27.
So with your stat, it's a 27.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to try to hold on to the magic, or are you just going to try and rush the magic? And because you reached your threshold. If you hold on to it, there's a chance that they might descend the stairs before the spell goes off.
I'd rather the spell goes off before.
Okay. So basically, the reason that you're getting these extra cards right off the bat is because of that portal and the magical energy that's pouring in from beyond the veil.
Okay.
Just as a sorcerer, you would realize this now that you know all the pieces there. And that's why that other spell went off so quickly. So while it does increase or expedite your spell casting, it definitely comes with risk. And you find yourself just overwhelmed with this magical energy. It washes over you and swirls about you. Kind of as though you were in some sort of a like wave pool. It's that is now becoming cyclonic, and it's spinning around you. You can feel yourself starting to be picked up and spun with the magic. Anybody that's around Oberon, I don't know how far out of the room you went, but anyone within eyesight would see Oberon actually being lifted off the ground and spinning. It's not fast, but it is spinning them. And
I swear this has never happened to me before.
And you feel the spell go off as the energy lets go of you, and you fall to the ground from about 4 feet in the air. Though it doesn't feel as though you were that far up, you fall with the force of falling off of a 2-story roof onto the ground.
Ow.
And that results in wounded status.
What does that do?
You're in pain and miserable. You reduce all of your abilities by 1 rank until you have time to heal.
So what's great becomes normal,
Good.
What's normal becomes... Okay.
Great goes down to good, good goes down to average, average goes down to poor.
Okay.
Poor is the bottom. You can't go down to 0. If you do become wounded a second time, you become incapacitated.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep. Ow. Ow.
Next. Who wants to go next while this is happening?
I am running out and down the way we came from. I'm going to take that angle to try and hit them up. I try to see them as they're coming down the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like full on quick sprint.
Okay. Would you like to play a club, the Clover, to enhance your athletics?
Can I just play any other card?
You can play any other card for a point.
What do hearts do normally?
Hearts are social interactions.
Oh, then that doesn't matter. Here, take it. Get out of here.
Take my heart. I don't need it.
Take it.
All right. So you boost your ability or your athletics by 1 to a 5, and you start to make your way toward. Are you going down the back stairs, or are you trying to go all the way around to the main staircase?
No, I'm just going back where we came from.
Okay, so basically down to the first floor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, excellent.
And then I'm going to try and circle around.
All right.
Later.
So you're going to make your way out of the room, or through the rooms, down the stairs, and you are right outside the kitchen and servants' quarters. And you want to circle around to the base of the front stairs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so you can make that movement, but with a 5, you're not going to be able to get much else off before we go around again for actions.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
I was really honestly not expecting to get even line of sight, so that's cool with that.
We'll see how much line of sight you have, depending on how everything else plays out.
Yeah.
And Jasser.
Jasser originally is doing what Selena is doing, and is going to be running the back staircase down, but they are going to be playing a Jack of Clubs.
Okay.
Comes off.
And so that's a 11 plus average.
Yep.
So 15. You will quickly catch up to and pass by Isolina and get down to the base of the stairs. And you'll have some sort of action once we finish up what your adversary is doing this round, that you'll then be able to react to whatever their actions are.
They will have taken their fire poker.
Excellent. So basically, you've made the distance, and you have a readied action is kind of where we're at. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
All right. And that leaves Carolina, who also, seeing the two of you go that direction, she circles the other way to try and make sure there's no doubling back. I don't have anything to boost her abilities, so we will just burn a card. Because as PB pointed out, ain't nobody doing anything social right now. And she will make it out to the top of the stairs as she sees the Unseelie make their way down the stairs. 3 steps in, you all start to hear creaking. The creature stops and hesitates, not knowing which direction to go, only for the stairs to collapse. Oberon, your spell worked.
Yay.
From the first floor, what that looks like is you start to see basically feet if you're looking up the stairwell to try and get line of sight. Those feet stop moving, and then everything just comes tumbling down in the stairwell. There's, think of like big dramatic cloud of dust, as this place has not been dusted in years. Splinters of wood flying everywhere. Nothing that anyone's going to take damage or harm from. And there is no one in sight, just a pile of wooden rubble in front of you. What would you like to do, Jasser, as you have a held action?
Oh, okay. If someone were visible, Jasser would have struck them, but no one is visible. So
you'd have to inspect the rubble to catch sight of something visible.
That is what they'll do with a diamond.
Excellent. So as you move up to inspect the rubble, I'm assuming you use the poker to kind of move things around.
Yeah.
Where necessary, you'll actually see the form impaled on some wooden fragments. The green light still there, but there's green light bleeding up out of the body toward the light that's hovering at the ceiling of the first floor. It slowly leaks from it. you start to see its visage change. It alters into a variety of forms that it had taken. You see Santi, you see the stuffy Englishman, you see Carolina, you see a maid, a waiter, you see one of the people that takes tickets at the Lycée that you recognize. You see about 5 or 6 others that you don't recognize. Different genders. There is no discernible pattern. And as you look up, though, you'll notice, looking down from above, is Carolina, who, upon seeing one of the unknown to you visages, a young woman, probably, or a girl actually, no more than 13. Her face kind of changes. Sadness, anger, and then shots spring out into the body. And the changing stops as the corpse becomes lifeless.
Did we get it?
I'm jogging up to make sure to see this thing, make sure it's dead.
It's dead, and it looks much older than it did in the room.
Just I will simply say, il est mort.
Oberon, every part of your body hurts right now.
Oh, I forgot. Bloody hell.
Your body feels like it went through a tumbler, like if you got stuck in a dryer and run through a cycle. Or more apropos to Oberon, if you tried fighting 5 or 6 fighters that were at least 1 or 2 classes better than you.
I need to lie down. I'm just gonna lie down on the floor in the room with the portal.
Yes, which is still open.
There's a door on there's a bed on the other room. I know. Okay, that's cool.
There was. I
You-
was blinded during that time, remember?
Oh, that's true. You know what? That's fair. Feel free to sit there anyway. I am going to look at Carolina, make sure she is okay. I heard many shots ring out. Just make sure she's fine.
She looks unsettled.
Jocelyn turns to Isolina. Didn't the Contessa wake up?
Yes. I just wanted to make sure that this thing was dead. I do not need one of these things coming in behind our back.
I do not think anything else will come.
Well, there is still a huge portal up there, but hopefully Oberon can deal with that, as I'm sure we just hear groans.
Oh.
He is very capable.
My world is pain.
Why did I go into magic?
This was a bad idea from the start.
I could have been a politician, but instead I chose this. I am going to see that everyone is okay, see that the person is dead, and then I will make my way to the dining room where we left the 2 people.
The servants' dining room, yeah.
Servants' dining room. Yes.
So to the back, the northeast corner.
Back from where I came from.
Yeah. So when you head back there, you'll find the Contessa laying on the table, just as you saw her before. Santi on the floor. There wasn't enough room on the table for both of them. Asleep, still shackled. Does not look any different than he had due to the soothing ministrations of Jasser.
I will check to make sure that his pulse is there
His pulse is there.
and that the Contessa is also fine. Put my hand in front of her mouth and nose to make sure she is breathing.
She is still breathing, yes.
Okay. Well, they seem to still be okay. Is the weird green light still emanating from the portal? I'm assuming is where the light came from.
Yes, that is where the light is coming from. And yes, it is still coming through the portal.
Okay. I accidentally answered my own question as I was asking the question, but I decided to just roll with it, just in case that was wrong.
I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
As we were circling this place, did we see any sort of like wagon carriage thing? Any carriage?
Not in the places that you've looked so far.
Okay.
There were still 2 more outbuildings. And you hadn't seen where the horse went either. So you're assuming that there's an outbuilding or somewhere where the horse is, and that could be a logical place for a cart or carriage.
Totally forgot there was a horse. Wow, that was only 2 episodes ago.
Feels like a lifetime ago. You had quite the adventure.
Okay, well, I will just sit there and making sure they're okay before I do anything else.
Yes. From your average understanding of medicine, they seem to be alive. You have no idea when or if they'll wake up, but they're alive.
That is one step closer to being okay.
Absolutely. On the path of okay.
I think Jasser would go back upstairs to make sure that Oberon and Carolina were okay.
Okay. You are you going the back way, or are you going to go around the front where the stairs collapsed?
Back way.
Okay, you go around the back.
Actually go upstairs. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to go up the rear. Well, I knew you were going to go up the rear stairs, but at the second floor, you can go one of 2 ways to that back chamber. So if you go basically the only route you've taken so far,
right,
you'll find Oberon in the room with the portal.
Monsieur Oberon, are you okay?
No. Everything hurts so bad.
I am sorry to hear this. And Jasser kind of looks worriedly over at the portal. There may be one more task that only you can help with.
Oh, please don't tell me it involves moving.
Well, I do not know about your art or what it takes, but there is an unearthly portal.
I take a look at the portal. And would I know how to close this?
Give me just based on sorcery, you know how portals work for sure, especially with great sorcery. You'd have to inspect the portal closely to see where its linchpins are. But once you pull the linchpins, sometimes there's signs or sigils, sometimes they're artifacts. But you just have to basically remove the linchpin and it'll close.
Oh, Jasser, help me get up.
All right.
Everything hurts. All my joints. And my bones.
It is a hard line of work you do.
I swear today is a day of firsts.
Jacer like
My bad.
stops like record ripping. What? Today was the first time you were kissed? Ever?
Well, yes, why?
Let us look at the portal a little bit more. We'll get back to this.
I'm gonna, with the help of Jacer, get closer to the portal.
Okay.
And
You don't
inspect it.
believe anything's broken, but everything does hurt.
I've never felt this much pain before. Jacer, I think I'm dying.
No, monsieur. I believe that Santi may be dying. I think that you are just in pain.
But there's so much pain. So much of it. Ugh. Ow.
C'est la vie.
Ow.
Would you like to make a perception check?
Yeah, I'm gonna start looking and moaning and bitching.
You are at a penalty, being wounded. You can burn your +2 that you got from Godless Lawyer and balance that out if you'd like.
Yeah, because perception is what, mental?
Yes.
Alright, so I will
Diamond.
burn my +2.
Okay.
So to go back to a +4,
Mhm.
and I will play.
Okay. So a
What's
14
going
will
on?
be sufficient to discern where the linchpins are. With this particular portal, it's actually being held in place by 3. There is a sigil at each corner at the bottom and one written on the ceiling. These are 9-foot ceilings.
Ugh. Alright, we need to erase. We need to erase those sigils. I don't know why I'm yawning so much. Jesus Christ.
It's not a problem. I've been feeling that for a while for no reason, no good reason.
See, my air conditioner just kicked on. So like it's nice and cool after a really hot day. So I'm feeling real comfortable right now.
Nice.
Alright, I'll start by defacing the other sigils, the ones that I can reach.
Okay.
Jacer has a poker, and they can reach up and perhaps jump.
With an athletics check, the thing is it's right above the portal itself.
Oh, so Jacer risks getting.
You risk entering the portal.
There is furniture around that you could drag around, says the voice. Not attached to me.
The disembodied voice from the kitchen.
Yeah.
It depends on how hard up Oberon is for needing to be leaning on someone.
But at the same time, I'm suddenly curious.
Mm-hmm.
Has anyone been through an unseelie portal before?
Has anyone ever?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so it wouldn't be a first if I were to go through the portal. Like it's.
You would not be the first human to go to pierce the veil.
Oh, okay. I'm less curious then.
But would it make a good story?
It could make an excellent story.
Yeah, but Oberon's not Brick and Swizzle. He's not a storyteller. Oh,
No,
have
no,
we piqued your curiosity?
I'm trying to decide whether or not Jacer would do it or not.
I'm just curious
I'm-
what you think this is because your magic is trash.
I'm not even sure that
Wow.
Jesser is worried about.
Oh, you meant okay. I thought that was
I'm just saying.
No.
Not to Oberon.
yeah.
Jesser is a poor.
Yeah, no, like I probably barely noticed that it's just like it's like a window that is open.
Mhm. It
Uh,
does not have all of the cool magical effects that everybody else sees, but you definitely look like you're looking through a window in the middle of a room, and that's not natural.
right. Ugh. Um, they would definitely risk falling into it, I think.
Okay.
My gosh, but would they want that story? I think they would. I think they would want that story. I think that would, because that would probably increase their social graces and interest.
Oh,
I like how the one person I
Yeah.
wasn't worried about fucking around with this portal is the one person that's gonna fuck around with this portal.
talk
Yeah.
about the tales you could tell at parties.
Yep.
Talk about the people that would invite you to parties.
Yep. So Josser is gonna
Won't instigate this.
probably go through the portal.
Do you want to? Okay.
Are you going to try and help close it, but also go through the portal?
No, so while Oberon is messing with one of the anchors, I think Josser will poke their head through.
Okay. So before we get to that, I'm going to circle back to Isolina on the first floor. What other things would you like to do while Jasser and Oberon are committing portal side?
I'm gonna go to the staircase, the bigger staircase, and I'm gonna yell up. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna go out back, see if I can find something to carry the fine Contessa and Santi for our travels back. I'm gonna see if I can find that horse. Or not, I'm talking as myself. I'm gonna try and find the horse back outside in the that guy was the Faye was driving to see if I could find something to drag the Contessa and Santi back with us to town.
Okay. So you're going to head out back. And as you do, you make your way out to you see two more outbuildings out in the back. They're in better condition than the one where the Zeppelin was. And you which just remind me, that whole time you actually had a rod that you could have tried to smash the lock with because it was from the Zeppelin.
Oh, right.
I just now remembered that when I told Sarah there wasn't anything, or you, whoever it was that asked. Anyway, so you make your way out there and you see two outbuildings. One of them is in much better condition than the other. You don't know if it's being kept up or if it's just weathered better because it's not like it's new, but it's still serviceable. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
It may have a missing shingle here or there, but it still has a roof. I know it's nighttime, but it's worn. The exterior is worn, but it's still intact. That kind of thing. And the doors are closed. The doors are open.
Sweet. So as I'm walking over to the thingy, to the place.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? I'm still gonna keep the cold iron as my primary ammo because I just saw a huge portal where things from the Fae could come over.
Mm-hmm.
So I should probably be concerned about those things, though not overly concerned because I'm Isolina, and I'm young and reckless. So I am just gonna keep that there. I was gonna say I was gonna switch out my ammo, but I'm not. So yeah, I just I go in.
Okay. As you enter, you find in the stable a horse and a small riding carriage. It would be enough to carry 4 people. 2 of them, if they can't sit up, maybe 3 people, if with 2 of them that can't sit on their own. You also find a number of farming implements, things of that nature, in the barn as well. And there is the horse.
Is there? So that's just like a I don't remember, like man, the word is just not coming to me. Like a farm, but for horses. That's the
stable.
word.
Ranch?
It's a stable. Yes, that
Yeah,
one.
stable. This isn't. I wouldn't say a full-fledged stable. You look like this is like a smaller barn that was being used to stable the horse. As you look at the pen that they've been, or where they've been penned in, it's kind of makeshift. The cart itself seems to be in working condition, but it's not overly fancy, or I should say carriage. Think of
But-
like the carriages that you see going through Central Park. It's
Mhm.
that size.
But like not a tool shed then.
Not a tool shed. There are farming implements in there, but it's definitely bigger than a tool shed.
Okay, so I am gonna take just a cursory look around here, just because
Mhm.
I don't think it's gonna be here. But on the off chance, I'm still gonna check. And then I'll go to the other place.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be keeping an eye out for like bolt cutters or something that could cut chains or get Santi out of his predicament.
Okay. Are you going to play a card to go with your perception, or just use your natural perception?
Let's see. Perception is diamonds.
Mm-hmm. And yours is great.
Yeah, I mean, I'll play a card just to get it out of my inventory.
Okay.
I don't have a diamond.
So that'll push it to a 9. Do you also want to use your +2, or do you want to save that for next session?
Yeah, let's use our +2.
Okay, so that'll put you at an 11. You will actually find not bolt cutters per se, but you will find an anvil with a hammer and other blacksmithing implements for either mending or breaking apart other things. So you believe that if you got Santi out there, that you would be able to, with a decent athletics check, break the shackles at least to free him.
All right, sweet. Is there anything else I would want from out here? I don't think so. So I am going to, mission accomplished. Pretty happy
Mhm.
about that. I'm gonna go and make sure that this horse is kind and will not like hurt us. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to stay here and build up a rapport with it. So I'm just gonna go up and approach it and see if it's friendly or not.
It's a typical domesticated riding horse. It's a little skittish when you come up to it, but when you don't approach it as like aggressive in any way, it quickly just is like, oh, hey, you're there.
All right, sweet. So yeah, I'll just do that and then I'll head back to the Contessa and
Okay. So upstairs, we have one Oberon crouched on the floor trying to erase a sigil. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
What else would you like to do?
Well, if I see that Jacer's head is poking into the portal...
He's looking through the portal at this point, very curiously.
Okay. I'll stop my scrubbing. I'll turn to Jacer. Ow. Did you want to take a peek?
I mean, it is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, I would say.
Because I'll stop rubbing the sigils off, so I wouldn't want the portal to close while you're on the other side.
That would be unfortunate. Yes, that would be kind.
Alright, I'll just... Ow. Ow. I'll wait.
Okay. Just there. As you lean in, are you going to step through or just try and lean in and look through?
I'm gonna lean in and look through, but if that doesn't yield much of anything, they'll eventually step through.
So as you lean in to look through, you come up to the portal itself, and think Stargate. It feels like there's something there, and you push through. And leaning through, your body's actually sucked all the way through to the other side.
Okay.
Once you start entering, it pulls you through the rest of the way. And around you is this green, verdant forest, teeming with the sounds of life. There is that green light in the air, kind of flickering from firefly over to this blooming rose, and then cascading down and dancing across the grasses and up a bush and along the trunk of a tree, tracing up its width, circling around it and dancing along the branches. You don't see any signs of life yet, but you can feel that energy, that life force that is a very healthy forest. And it just washes over you in a way that you've never experienced before. And in your mind, it's almost like, is that what magic feels like? Is this what magic feels like? And on that note, we're going to end the session.
Next
Thank you,
session,
everyone.
Jasera becomes a wizard.
Thank you, everyone, for attending. Thank you, Godless Lawyer, for the bits. Thank you to all the players. Let's go. Simon, take it away.
Yes. Again, thanks everyone for hanging out. Thank you all for playing. Thank you, Chris, for hosting. This was our penultimate episode. If you come back next week, you will see our season 1 finale, because we are coming back in July for a second season. We'll be on hiatus, a short break for maybe a week or two, and then we'll come back and have some more adventures in Castle Falkenstein in July with probably new faces. Well, same players, but new characters maybe. That being said, I am Simon at Wandering DM. Hi everyone. This is my channel. We stream here 5 days a week, 4 days a week, soon to be 5. We are on Tuesdays we play Dark Matter. On Thursdays we play D&D 5th edition. On Friday we play here Castle Falkenstein, and then on Saturday we play Go West, our Pulp Cthulhu campaign. And starting soon, mid-July, for the summer season, we are also starting an Acquisition Incorporated game, a purely improvised game of Dungeons and Dragons using the Acquisition Inc. sourcebook. So much shenanigans and a lot of craziness is going to happen. Let's go around the table. Tell us who you are, everyone, and where we can find you. And let's start with PB.
Hi, I'm PB from @PB Plays Inside, where you can find me on Twitter and Twitch. I do variety streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Right now we're going through Borderlands 2, the Commander Lilith, and the Fight for Sanctuary DLC, the one that just dropped this 2 weeks ago, I think, at E3. And I occasionally stream on weekends, just playing some odd game or other. But I am on the Greyhawk channel on Mondays, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're playing some D&D, The Grove Where We Met. It's a cool game based purely off of the aesthetic of Florence and the Machine. Of the Machine and the Machine. Oh my god, me and names today. We're just not here. On Fridays, I am here playing this game, and on every other Saturday, I am over on the Experience Points channel playing some Starfinder, but I'm sure Kenny will tell you more about that on his turn.
And speaking of Kenny, it's your turn.
Hey! Hi, I'm Kenny. You can find me on Twitter at PunderDrone. I'm also a member of the Experience Points Network, where on Saturdays, every other Saturday, we stream our Starfinder campaign, which is then turned into a podcast released every Wednesday. You can connect with us on Twitter at EQ Points. We also have a Numenera game that we call Q-Manera, which releases every other Friday. Yeah, check us out there for everything that we do there. And then on Fridays, I am here on Simon's channel playing Castle Falkenstein.
And last but not least, our host, Chris.
Hey everyone! Again, thank you for being here. If you've enjoyed the season so far and the episodes, whether you are watching on video on demand or live, know that next week during our final episode after the break, we will be giving away a copy of Castle Falkenstein's core book to one lucky live viewer. So please, if you are having fun and want to try this at home, show up and participate for a chance to win. I am Chris Geary. You can find me on Twitter at Chris Geary. You can also find me not only here every Friday as the host of Adventures in Castle Falkenstein, but also every Sunday over on Soul Bear RPG, playing in the Shattered Eye campaign. Thank you, Simon.
Well, thank you for playing. Thank you for hosting too. And before we leave, let's just see who we can raid tonight. As we haven't had a lot of luck lately with raiding, we're gonna raid MTD, Mini Terrain Domain. They're crafting cardboard terrain right now. I was on their channel a few was it weeks ago doing a charity stream for Jasper's Game Day.
That's awesome.
So they're an awesome channel, awesome folks. So let's just go out and spread the love. And we'll see you again next week for our last episode. Ciao, everyone.
Bye.